Peace YouTube, P31 Diva here coming to you with another video. Alright, so if you can notice, got my eyebrows done. Today is Friday, July 7th, 2017, and I had microblading services performed on May 31st, 2017, and then I just came back, in addition to getting my hair retightened, to getting my touch-up appointment for my microblading. So I have a list of questions that I wanted to go over, and I have a blog, and on my blog I have day-by-day pictures, morning and night, but I'm going to insert some pictures into this video as well. I also want to mention that the healing process can put you on an emotional roller coaster. The first day, your brows are going to look perfect, bold, but perfect. Then they get darker, if you can imagine. Next, as the pigment settles and your skin begins to heal, your skin will begin to peel or flake or even scab. This is completely normal. It is very important that you do not pick the peeling, do not pick the flaking, do not pick the scabs, not even a little bit. Because if you do that, you will most likely remove all of the pigment that was introduced to your skin. So let the flaking, peeling, or even scabbing occur naturally. Towards the end, it may look like nothing took, but then the pigment begins to reemerge and you're left with a very natural looking brow. So trust the process and follow the aftercare instructions. But let's go ahead and get into some of the main questions that I've been getting asked in person, and a couple of people have asked online as well. The pain, how's the pain? Let me preface this by saying this. I've given birth twice with no epidural on purpose. But those labors were Pitocin induced, so I had very unnatural contractions with no epidural. And I also have 3 tattoos, one on my wrist, one on my hip, and then one on my thigh. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would give the pain, 10 being just excruciating, 1 being no pain at all. I'll give it about a 2 to a 2.5. And that is because when she first does the procedure, and if you're not familiar with microblading, I will leave a link to information about all the details of what microblading entails. But the first pass of using the tool is done, well, mine was done without any lidocaine, so I felt the whole extent of the pain. And like I said, that would be about a 2.5 maybe. After she did the first pass with the lidocaine, then I would say the pain went down to a 1 to a maybe even like a 0.5. So like a 0.5 to a 1. So that's the pain. Now I do feel like I have a high threshold for pain, but that's how much pain I felt. If the lidocaine had not taken, I would have still sat through the whole experience. So that's the pain. The pain afterwards, my eyebrows are just a little tender and kind of sore, so it's kind of more of a soreness, not necessarily a pain, if that makes sense. Kind of like when you work out, you're not hurting, but you're just sore, so it's kind of sore and tender to the touch. The healing process, so the aftercare involves wiping for the first 4 hours. Every hour I wipe off the excess lymph, which is the lymphatic fluid that your body creates, from my brow area gently with a cotton round that's been dipped into just a little bit of water, and then I use the ointment that she gave me. This is a little container of ointment, and so I do that once every hour for the next 4 hours, and then once a day for 10 days. I do mine in the morning is when I do mine. So that's the aftercare procedure. How do I wash my face? So I use a Clarisonic. I have a Clarisonic Smart Profile. While I'm healing, and what I did for the past healing, what I'm going to be doing for the next 10 days, which is a 10-day healing process. So 10 days of not getting into saunas, really hot showers, working out, no pools or anything like that, because you want to keep, well, my technician is having me keep my brows completely dry. So no exercise, no swimming, nothing that will cause me to have for my brows to become wet or damp. So lukewarm showers for me, no exercising for me. And I used my Clarisonic to just do the bottom half of my face. And then I just kind of went just gently right here on my forehead. And then I just used my toner all over. And since I'm not exercising and sweating or anything like that, it's not a big deal. that's the day-to-day maintenance. Now that I'm healed, I'm making sure that I use sunscreen on my skin as always, but also to make sure that you get it on your brows, because the pigment doesn't go as deep as a tattoo. As tattoo ink is a pigment. So if you tan your skin, cause the color to fade faster. So to keep the color from fading as fast, I'm making sure that I'm really mindful of my sunscreen on my eyebrow area. I'm also being mindful to not put my anti-aging skincare products onto my eyebrows. Would I go again? Yes, I went back today for the touch-up, which is a two-step process. You go for the initial appointment, and then you go anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks later, or whenever they've healed, for your touch-up appointment. So that's what I had today. So my eyebrows will not look quite like this today. Let me lean and give you a little closer look. They are a little bit oily because I do have the ointment on them. But right now they're quote-unquote like extra perfect and a little bit still kind of swollen. I would definitely go again, and my plan is to, she just said to come back whenever they fade and whenever I feel like I'm ready to go back. When I go back, I think I'm going to try powder brow technique next time, so we'll see. But I am wanting to make it a yearly thing so that I can get 1 year's time out of each procedure. My advice to you, if you're going to get microblading done, do your research. Find someone who is certified. Find someone who is good. Find someone who posts not just pictures, but pictures of their healed clients. Look for people that they're doing who have skin like yours, whether it's oily or dry, whether you have more mature skin, just whatever. And then also that maybe you've seen them do a shape that is similar to a shape that you would like. So make sure that you're doing your research. Anybody can put up an immediate after picture, but the healing process plays a part into it. And healing is also on you, the client, on me, the client, to do the proper aftercare so that my brows heal as best as they can. Don't be cheap. This is every once in a while, you know, maybe if someone's brand new, they're kind of doing a little deal or special, but this isn't something that you want to necessarily get for like, you know, $50 or something like that. They're still needing to do sanitation, sterilization. The tools need to be disposable. You know, I'm not saying you have to pay an arm and a leg, but just this is one of those things where you don't want to necessarily take the cheapest route, because you do get what you pay for. And this is your face. This is your face. Well, it's my face. And this is probably the most important thing. When you go to somebody and when they're drawing the lines on your face, because they should be marking your face using rulers, what have you, make sure that you are sitting up. I would, dare I say it, I get out of the chair. I get out of the chair if they laid me down to do the markings, because gravity is different when you're laying down versus when you're sitting up. The gravity is different on your face. And so you don't want eyebrows that look good when you lay down, but when you sit up, or when you're standing, which is 99% of the time when other people are going to see you. So I would have them make sure that you're sitting up when you get your eyebrows, when you get all the measurements done. Now, yes, then you can lay down for the procedure, but make sure that when they're marking you to find the center and doing all the symmetry and everything, that you're sitting up, because again, gravity is different. And that's just as simple as if you hold a mirror and look back, and then you hold the mirror and look up, you'll see that your skin moves and shifts. And you want to make sure that when you're standing up, like you will be doing, or sitting up, whenever you're around other people typically, that your eyebrows look good when you're standing versus when you're laying flat on your back. So those are my FAQs, plus any advice for anybody who's interested in microblading. If you've had the procedure done, leave your comments on your experience. How's your healing process? If you're a technician, had you do something different to heal? If you're interested in the procedure and there's something that I did not touch on and you would like me to provide my insight on, feel free to leave a question or leave a question in the comments.